We start here at number 1 with SEI Network. SEI, of course, is the ticker. It's first on this list of altcoins at under $1. This project is a financial app chain. It is fast with low costs, and it's also scalable, which is basically the formula that you need to be successful, certainly in the financial world. And investors are taking note of this project. In a recent development, the most powerful names in terms of global finance seem to be expressing interest in SEI. For example, BlackRock's ICS US Dollar Liquidity Fund and Brevin Howard's Master Fund. These are now live on SEI, and these are big names, of course. And in this context, we are also talking tokenized RWAs, real-world assets, brought to SEI by KAIO. In this case, institutional RWAs. This shows us that SEI Network keeps building and working to become a major player in the RWA space. That is their stated goal and objective. And they're in good company because the world's largest tokenization platform, Securitize, they are also on SEI. It currently has over $4.5 billion in tokenized assets under management. Global capital market data is also live on SEI. This is done courtesy of Chainlink's DataLink, another big player that you can find on the SEI network. You can find real live data on the Deutsche Börse on SEI as well. And the price of SEI is significantly below $1, just about a fifth of $1, not quite, but in that territory. 21.68 cents as I record. Kind of finds itself locked in an accumulation zone, and it is down these past few weeks. For the most part, however, people are optimistic, ourselves included. Ali Martinez here on X sees a parabolic run for SEI coming soon at some point. In fact, he's also seeing some similarities between SEI this year in 2025 and SUI, SUI, in 2024. Because of some of the mathematics involved in circulating supply and total supply, what we actually have right now is some of the most powerful altcoins in 2025, some of our favorites objectively, that are trading at less than $1. And then, of course, after the recent market shakeup, the crypto flash crash, they're on even more of a fire sale. We're not talking about meme coins here or hype plays. Instead, projects that are solving real-world problems and building rapidly in a pragmatic way. These are 5 projects we're counting down in this video that we would otherwise be bullish about anyway, but all of these altcoin tokens are priced at under $1. Next up, and at number 2 here, we're looking at ONDO Finance, ticker ONDO, of course, ONDO. And it's actually kind of been a little bit of a long time since I last talked about ONDO Finance. It's probably time now to revisit this one. It is on this list of altcoins under $1. In early September, global markets went live on ONDO. This was a pretty big milestone. These are markets that bring traditional public securities on chain. And in all fairness, I expected this to be more of a catalyst than it has been so far. I guess the timing wasn't great with that crypto crash that we've been experiencing. But still, it remains massive news, and ONDO is still leading in terms of the RWA charts. So from that point of view, I still see ONDO as a sleeping giant. Its infrastructure, for example, is all set to bring Wall Street on chain, which is pretty big. October 6th was also an important date. That's when ONDO Finance completed its purchase of Oasis Pro. That is a licensed broker-dealer in the United States. And with this, ONDO moves kind of away from being just another RWA project because it's now pivoted directly towards infrastructure that can legally operate in the US capital markets. So this greatly lowers regulatory risk, of course, and also opens the door for institutional capital. And so the current price of ONDO right now is a little bit just below actually 77 cents with a market cap of $2.4 billion. There is no token unlock until the 17th of January 2026. So ONDO keeps accumulating around that $1 price tag. If it's below that, to me, it looks like this is a good entry point and that ONDO is kind of undervalued at the moment. The RWA market is still a strong force to be reckoned with, and it's only going to grow if you are to believe the analysts. Quick shout out to Surge here. This is our risk-free prediction game that's available on Telegram. And in this game, you just swipe left or right. You can kind of think Hamster Combat or even Tinder. You're swiping to guess whether a crypto asset pumps or dumps. And in the process, you earn rewards. And actually, hopefully, you can pick up some market skills as well while you're at it in the form of technical analysis. They've also kicked off a weekly giveaway. It's a contest that is super simple. Every week, there's a coin of the week. And this week, it is Trump, Trump. And all you have to do is swipe to find it in the Surge app. Then once you see it, screenshot it and then drop it under their tweet. One random reply wins $50 in USDT. It is super easy, but in order to win and have a chance at winning, of course, you have to at least participate. So check out Surge, have some fun swiping, and maybe snag some cool prizes along the way. Check out the links, the URLs in the description of this video below to participate. At number 3 here, we are looking at Pudgy Penguins and PENGU, which is the ticker PENGU. We're kind of leaving the realm of altcoins here. PENGU is, of course, in all fairness, a meme coin. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe it's not, but you know, this one is perhaps worth your consideration. I will explain. What's kind of impressive here is that we're talking about a crypto project that has their own merchandise at Walmart and Target stores. For whatever that's worth, you can buy a penguin there, and we have 2 million toys that already have been sold over the counter. The team also recently launched their Pudgy Party mobile game. That launched a couple of months ago, back in August, and in about 6 weeks' time, it has 750,000 downloads. Not bad by the numbers. Institutions also seem to be warming up to these plushy animals. Canary Capital filed for an ETF for PENGU and the Pudgy Penguin NFT. This can possibly bridge the meme NFT world with more so-called, legitimate financial products. And the social media activity is also noteworthy. So the Penguins have over 5 million followers between YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And the GIFs have over 148 billion views. Pretty impressive metrics, no matter what kind of a project this is, meme coin or not. The current price of PENGU is about 2.35 cents with a $1.47 billion market cap. Look, like a lot of other altcoins, it seems to be stuck in this kind of accumulation zone. Ali Martinez on X has also weighed in on PENGU. He does feel that a move back up to 3.5 cents is possible. This Altcoin Buzz Spotlight video is sponsored by Walrus Protocol, which has the fastest solution for data storage on the market today. It's from the team behind Sui, and their token and airdrop were a huge success. Walrus is already a top 150 coin. In fact, it's so resilient that even with only a few nodes operating, your data availability will not be affected. Decentralized data storage on Walrus is solving the big problem of data availability and integrity. And this is especially important for AI models and their data sets. Decentralized AI solutions are important to many of us in the industry and many of you as well. And really the last thing that we'd want to see is having to give up our data for free again, like we did with social media and a lot of the big Web 2 companies. But AI models are big, huge databases that need training on one end and specialized limited access on the consumer end. Walrus was built exactly for this. Its specialty in large pieces of unstructured data means storing models to train to your liking on your private data is easier and cheaper than ever before. And Seal helps you control who accesses it. That means you can use Walrus to create an AI app to sell to others with the user permissions and controls you need. So try Walrus today. Whether you need it to store an NFT or an entire AI model, you get the same smooth, fast, and cheap storage service. Follow Walrus on X for more updates and check out the link in the description below. At number 4 here, let's consider Cronos and the CRO token. Cronos is the native cryptocurrency and token of the Cronos chain. This is, of course, a layer 1 blockchain developed by the Crypto.com exchange, and CRO is its native token. You can use it for things like paying transaction fees or for staking. Since early October, you can find Morpho's lending vaults on Cronos. This is a complete lending infrastructure that has moved onto Cronos. And that means you can now borrow or supply assets such as wrapped BTC or ETH straight on Cronos, which of course increases utility, capital flows, and by extension, demand for CRO, not only as collateral, by the way, but also as a network token. But then certainly the biggest news was the fact that the Trump Media Group and Crypto.com bought around 584 million CRO, and CRO will also become the utility token for the Truth Social media platform. And the price of CRO went from about where it is now, actually, all the way up to 38 cents in only 2 days. So more than a 100% gain. As I record right now, we're kind of back to the starting point, 15.79 cents. In an earlier deal, the Trump Media Group was mentioned in a deal to buy $6 billion in CRO. This is part of a CRO treasury deal. So it's not all that surprising that the price went up in response to that announcement. Like I said, the dust has since settled and the price of CRO is back down to now below 16 cents. With a $5.5 billion market cap, we're just blowing up the chart here to remind you that its price did peak at about 96 cents, so it is still well off that previous all-time high. Last but not least here, at number 5, we are considering Ethena Labs and ENA, the token, as the last of today's altcoins under $1. Now, to clarify, though ENA is an altcoin, really Ethena's flagship token is a stablecoin, that is USDE. This is different from most stablecoins, however, since it is a synthetic dollar. And just to clarify, this means that crypto assets back it. This is in combination with corresponding short futures positions. Ethena also has a white label stablecoin as a service product line, and its latest stablecoin to emerge from that is JUP-USD. Of course, this will be the native stablecoin of the Jupiter stack. And as you may know, Jupiter is a leading DEX on Solana. Now, you can find JUP-USD in, for example, Jupiter Perps. Currently, there are around $750 million in stablecoins inside JLP, and JUP-USD will gradually replace them. JLP is the Jupiter Perps liquidity provider. Also, you're going to find this stablecoin in Jupiter Lend as the cornerstone lending asset. In other news, you are partnered with Ethena Labs, so that means you can now get up to 5% APY on your USDE. The current price of ENA sits at about 43.5 cents with a $3.1 billion market cap. Out of 15 billion ENA tokens, we have 7.1 billion in circulation, so a little bit less than half. And a couple of weeks ago, on the 5th of October, we saw a pretty big token unlock of almost 172 million ENA. That was worth around $100 million. What followed was a price drop of about 5% in response to that, but then 2 days later, the price dropped another 10%, from about 60 cents to about 54 cents. And look, another drop is possible before ENA finds its way up again in October. We are down nearly 38% on the month, so it is what it is, but if you believe in kind of this project and what they're doing, pretty good entry in my opinion. Let me know if you have other tokens, other altcoins that are your favorites as far as being priced below $1, but these are 5 that we feel are doing great work, really regardless of what the token price is at. If you have something you want to add to the list, let me know in the comments below. Also, be sure to join our social media discussions on X, on Discord. You can click on the links in the description below.